Hello and welcome to today's class where we're going to focus on opening up the heart and gaining some flexibility in the front of the body. So to start with today, I would like you to come to a kneeling position. If that feels too uncomfortable, feel free to come cross-legged or however feels comfortable for you. Hands in the lap or on the knees. Let's roll the shoulders back. Close down the eyes if that feels comfortable. Let's take a big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And again, big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. One more time. Big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it go. And just come back to your natural breath. And then we're just going to come forward and come onto all fours. So however you can get there, come over onto your knees and your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. And then let's inhale, drop the belly down, open the chest in between the shoulders. Exhale, push the mat away, round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, stick the tailbone out, drop the belly down, look forward. Exhale, reverse, round the spine, look backwards towards your thighs. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, reverse. Let's do that 2 more times at your own pace, taking your breath nice and slow here. And then coming back to a neutral spine. Take your hands out a little bit further than the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Lift those knees up, push your belly back and your hips up high. Keep a bend in your knees here. And then let's straighten the right leg. Rebend, straighten the left. Rebend, straighten the right. Rebend, straighten the left. And then toes together at the back of the mat. Let's lift the right leg up high behind you. Toes are pointing downwards. Take a big inhale here. And then step the right foot all the way up in between the hands. Lower that back knee. Now, if you struggle swinging your leg up like that, come to all fours and then bring that leg forward. Low lunge here. You can always use yoga blocks to come up a little bit higher. Keep that chest nice and open. Sink those hips down low. Try to make sure your front knee is above your ankle. And see if you can find some balance here. Imagine that you've got something in between your thighs that you're hugging together. And then bring the hands up above the head. If you do have sensitive knees, it's always a good idea to put a blanket underneath the back knee here. Reach it up. Maybe even look up slightly and reach your hands backwards a little bit. Turn your core muscles on slightly. And then lower the hands back down to the ground. Tuck your left toes under. We're going to step it back to down dog. Okay, so you can do this from all fours, or that right leg could just step all the way back to downward facing dog. Feel free to always come to all fours for a little transition in between. Toes together at the back of the mat. Left leg lifts up high, toes pointing downwards. Big inhale here. Step your left foot up in between, lower that back knee. Come into your low lunge on the other side. Sink those hips down low. Keep your front knee above your front ankle. open that chest. This is why sometimes it's good to have yoga blocks, because if you're rounding, you're not going to feel as much of a stretch as if you can open your heart. So if you need to come up a little bit higher, then do so. Now again, imagine you've got something in between your thighs that you're squeezing together for a little bit of stability, and then inhale, bring the hands up above. Feel free to stay here, or if you want, look up and bring those hands a little bit behind you. Turn your core muscles on to help keep your balance, and it helps protect your low back. Hands come back down to the ground. This time step your left knee back to meet your right. Okay, so we're back to all fours. Keeping your hips above your knees, take your hands out nice and long in front of you, and then drop your chest. So keep your arms straight here. Spread your fingers nice and wide and reach your chest downwards. Maybe you rest your forehead on the ground. Maybe if you're a little bit more flexible, maybe you can look towards your fingers and rest your chin on the ground. Or maybe you just hover. Just try to keep those elbows lifted and keep that chest sinking down. And then slowly lift the head. Walk those hands back into all fours. Okay. Let's inhale, the left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread it underneath the right armpit. Bring your left shoulder all the way down to the ground. Left ear comes down to the ground. You can keep your right fingers in front of you here. Elbow up so that you can open the chest, or you can take it out long above you. So maybe try both of these and just see which one feels best for you today. Slow inhale, slow exhales. And always trying to focus on slowing down the breath and making it nice and even. Right hand comes back in if you had it out long, and come all the way back to all fours. Same thing on the other side. Inhale the right hand up. Exhale, thread it underneath the left armpit. Right shoulder comes down to the ground. Right ear comes down to the ground. Left hand either stays in front of you, elbow up, opening your left shoulder, or take it out long above you. Wherever you are, try to relax into that bottom shoulder as much as possible. And let's bring in that left hand if you had it out long. Come all the way back to all fours. Okay, I'm going to take a seat on our heels, and we're going to do a couple of camel variations. So to start with, I'm going to bring the right hand behind you. Okay, so it's kind of in line with your right hip. From here, ground down through the base of your feet, lift your hips up. Left hand comes up and over. Now push your hips as far forward as you can. Take a couple of breaths. You can be on your fingertips, or your hand can be flat, or your hand can be on a block if the floor seems too far away. Lower back down. I'm going to take it over the other side. Left hand comes behind. Lift those hips up and forward. Right arm comes up and over. Lower back down. Okay, same thing, this time toes tucked. Feel free to take the option that we've just done. So you can tuck the toes under, right hand comes behind. Now because you're a little bit higher, this is where you may want a yoga block. Or you can reach your right hand onto your right heel. This is one of my favorites. Then you don't have as far to go, and it's like your hand's up a little bit higher onto a block anyway. Hips forward, left hand up and over. Now your hips can reach a little bit further forward. Make sure that you can breathe. Slowly lower down. Same thing other side. So whichever variation you took, left hand goes down, right arm comes up. And come back down. Okay, so we can do the same thing, or the next variation would be to put both of your hands on your heels and then lift your hips up, bring them forward, and you're either going to look up or you can drop your head. I personally don't like doing that, but completely up to you. The aim here is just to open up the front of the hips and the chest. And then hips down to your heels to come out of it. Come forward, untuck those toes, and we're going to come into our Shavasana pose. Now, the way that I would like you to do this today is to be a little bit elevated. So if you have pillows or yoga blocks, please get them. I've got 2 yoga blocks here. You want one behind your chest and then one for your head. Now the one for your head should be a little bit higher. So I always like to put the one behind my chest low, on the low setting, the one behind my head on the middle setting. So you're going to lean back onto your blocks. Take your legs out long. You can even take your legs into butterfly if you'd like, soles of the feet together, knees wide. And relax here. Just make sure that your shoulder blades are okay. So if you are on a yoga block, it could be a little bit hard on your shoulder blades. If that's the case, either move the block into a different position or put a blanket over it. Arms down by the side. Just one more little heart opener here. Close down the eyes if that feels okay. Let's take a big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose and exhale. One more time, big inhale. Hold your breath at the top, suck in a little bit more air, and exhale, let it all go. And just come back to your natural breath and just take a pause here, trying not to let your mind wander off. Keep bringing your attention back to your breath and back to your body. We have all these things in life that try to distract us, but don't let it. Bring that attention back to you. And you're in control of your body, your breath, your heart. If you had your legs open, just slowly bring them back together. You can use your elbows to prop yourself up nice and slowly. Come to a seated position. And that's us done for today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you enjoyed this class, please hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.